passing in the thousands to see the boys become champions. Oh, 67, and then he's a Westman. They're passing in the thousands to see the boys become champions. Celtic way, wait for the ball from side to side, and until they try to hide, the wait for the ball from front to back. Attack, 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 67, and then he's a Westman, they're buzzing in the thousands. Good evening everybody, welcome to Celtic Rumours TV, episode number 218 of the Bawz and Bovril podcast with myself, Mark. Right, we've got our big jolly green giant with us. How you doing, Jerry boy?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
No bad, thanks. I don't know if the Bishop's coming on or no. It's meant to be coming on to see what happens. As I said, this is a podcast for our forum here at www.CelticRumoursTV.co.uk. The link to everything's in the description box below. You can go to the forum, get into Discord and stuff, whatever you want to do there. Excuse me. We've seen just with our food bank again. I only started it on Saturday, Jerry, and we're up at 600 quid already.
I meant to ask you, I heard it was at 500 yesterday.
Aye. It's the link for that as well. We do. This is our 9th year of doing it. The link to that for the Hamilton Food Bank. If you can afford to get in and into that, please get it in. If you can't, it's no sweat. Don't hassle about it. I'll get a few wee shout outs for the guy for the forum. That Paul and his missus, we tear. Mad Dog McGinn, Old Tim Alloy, Mikey, John United Ireland, Big Jabber, Steph, Welshie, Deef Kev, Malika and TB. See who we've got. Bobby was obviously in first again. Grot Bags, how you doing? PP, nice to see you. Liam Doyle, thanks very much for coming in, mate. Patrick, nice to see you too. Super nice to see you, bud. You boys. Troy FP, I've blocked myself. We Super's getting right into the community in the Discord and that, isn't he?
Aye, top poster now.
Aye, he's right in there. Is that the Gregster?
Aye, it is.
Off. We'll fire a link out. You coming on, Greg?
You'll have an excuse, mate. But fire a link out, see if JFP can get on.
How did I get to that for here? You start talking about. Did you see the game yesterday? I know you were away at Pitlochry, Jerry, but did you see the game?
I know, mate. I mentioned it. So, I mentioned it. I watched it. So, decent enough performance. Bobby had put 4-0 in the Discord chat before the game, and I thought, who's he kidding? And then once I seen that lineup, I thought there's no chance we're going to beat them 4-0. But they offered nada. I thought we were decent enough, get the job done after the second goal. We didn't look back. We needed the second goal and the third. But it was brilliant and good. Glad to get the 3 points. Seen the world beaters have dropped points as well. And then get 4 goals into the goal difference. So it's good, some decent performances. And I was surprised to see the big boy for Man City. Is it Pussy Simpson? Surprised to see him starting, but I thought all things considered, he done really well. First game in a long time, first team game in a long time, done well. First pass as usual, went to their man, but no, it was he recovered and done really well, I thought, and it was good to get him some minutes. I thought Trusty had another good game. Schmeichel, I don't know, do you think he's been told to come off his line?
I don't know, but he has done it more often, hasn't he?
Aye. So the shackles have come off for him, the vampire. So he's managed to come out for crosses now, which takes a lot of pressure off that defence. and then get a bit of confidence. Only downside, obviously, is Sriracha's hammy. And get a bit of confidence. Only downside, obviously,
Get away from Mike.
Sriracha's. Eh?
I'm talking to Jack. She went into the room there with her phone on, so it would affect the mic. Do you know my mic? Do you know what I mean? Aye.
So,
aye.
It was good. It was good. Happy enough. And as I say, it's Kenny getting another goal. He's never going to be an out-and-out striker for us, or a first-team starting striker. In all things, been well, but it's another goal, so it's not doing his confidence any harm.
I mean, see, we've said it before, right? Me and Terence were even talking about it last night. Right, see, for me, if Kenny would be happy to be Celtic's third choice striker, I'd be happy with that. If as long as, do you get what I mean? As long as we've got like two better than him in front of him, kind of thing. Yep. But I mean, he's scoring goals, so you can't. I mean, that's what he's getting sent out today, and you can't fault, you can't moan when you. Do you know what I mean? You can't. Oh, he's no good enough. He's good enough when he's scoring goals. That's the thing, isn't it?
Aye, okay. You know, but you do want better. He's the type of player that's going to need a few chances before he scores. But no, we done well in Maida. He took his goal was a belter a goal. I think that was, for me, that was the pick of them. Tierney's was a great strike, but the ball by Engels was first class, and then it was a fluke touch by Maida, and then a good finish. Albeit the Kelly keeper wasn't up too much, so it was good to get 3 or 4 goals clawed back. Hopefully.
I mean, we spoke last night about Trusty and how much he's kind of looked apart in that, but even Engels has even started to show a bit more about himself, and he's got to maybe a wee bit, and Neil's gave him a wee bit more of confidence, because I always used to say, look, the guy it looks as if he had the weight of his world on his shoulders, Jerry, when he was playing.
Yep, 100%, and we've been. I mean, you're not going to be playing first team football in Germany and costing £11 million and we're rotten. So there's obviously been something there about him, but he's starting to show. I mean, that the pass, that was a outstanding pass. Great eye, great weight, perfect. So I'm hoping that he kicks. So I was hoping this season he was going to kick on, similar to O'Reilly, where the first season wasn't all that great, and then second season he really kind of started to kick on. But I mean, we're into November now, and we're midfield 3. We still don't know our best midfield 3.
No.
But as I say, it's been Bernardo's that far out the picture, it's frightening. Whereas that, I mean, it's still.
Nobody can explain that to me.
No, I don't know myself, mate. But
I mean, I know. Is he? I mean, he came on the other night in midweek, and then he didn't even make the squad yesterday.
Yep, I know. But Maloney and that would have seen him plenty of times in training and all the rest of it. So I'm not sure. I think he'll need to be off ski soon. He looks. What's the player he looks for? Is that under 21, under 22?
I know.
Team? He looks a great player. And then I like Bernardo. I think he's got a bit about him, but I'd be still playing him before Hatate. I just think Hatate slows the whole game down, too lackadaisical, gives the ball away, and he's no the player that he was for us. So
no, Hatate for me just fell right off a cliff.
Yep, 100%.
I don't even. He really offers very, very little to the team.
Aye, but he continually gets picked. So
it's weird that, innit? I mean, I've seen somebody coming up with something about with Bernardo. It's something to do with if he plays so many games, we need to give him more money. That's just stupidness. Do you know what I mean? There's no way.
Nah, it's no. I genuinely don't think it's
that. For all it would be, do you know, it's not as if it would be like, right, he gets using our 10 million after he plays so many league games. For all it would be, do you know what I mean? It'd be £500,000 or something like that. So I don't think it's anything to do with that.
No.
Maybe it's just maybe even Jerry is doing it like the training and that. Maybe just his fitness, because he's not played that. Because mind, he was away with Portugal, the under 21s in the summer, And then that's when he kind of fell off the map, and everybody's like, well, he maybe get an extra couple of weeks off, and then he's behind in pre-season and that. So maybe we were talking, don't know if you heard me and Terence talk about it last night, maybe it is down to the training. He's just never caught up to the, do you know what I mean? He's that far off the level, even how poor they've looked and the injuries that it's caused, but Bernardo's not even got up to that stage yet. He's just that.
I don't know. Look, he fired that, Nat Cloud fired Biggie and Nacho on, and he hadn't been playing for the last couple of years, never mind pre-season. That's the only way players are going to get fit is if they're playing games. So I think if he was going to be getting a sniff, they would be bringing him on 10, 5, 10, 20 minutes here and there, and then
there we go. If somebody stuck 10 bob in the meter.
Aye, good.
How you doing, John?
Stop rambling on.
How's things?
Aye,
good,
brilliant. Living the dream. How are you?
Same, living the dream. Sometimes I can't believe my luck.
Good pair.
How's going on, all right?
Good. Yourself?
Aye, good. Good stuff.
How was your day yesterday? At the
it's a funny day. It was a funny day because I'm totally and utterly, we're going to probably come on to this, totally and utterly obviously disillusioned with the club there. And my lad had to call off at short notice. My big mate couldn't make it, wasn't he well? So you seen the weather yesterday too. It wasn't as bad later on, right enough. So they seemed, when I got in there, I actually thoroughly enjoyed the game. It was nice to be back at Celtic Park. It was nice to be back just to see that ball getting passed side to side, just the ball moving forward, moving forward and moving quicker, and a wee bit of fucking chaos.
Yep.
It was
John, what I noticed as well, even at the times that they were doing the wee passing about towards the back and that, you could actually see why they were doing it this time.
Absolutely, 100%. There was a point. I remember watching that, and I remember thinking, you're right. That's recycling the ball when you've got no other option but recycle the ball. But previously we've been recycling just for recycling's sake, eh?
And that'll go back to why does Hatate play, man, Marks? Because for me, he slows everything down. All the time he's on that ball, he slows everything down.
And to play with that number 10 camera, that was a strange and I know, wasn't it?
Aye.
So it was a great. So your answer your question was a great. It was a brilliant day. Eh? Apart from the fact, 4 o'clock on a Sunday for football.
Aye.
And what's that all about?
At least you get a Wi-Fi signal, John. What's happening there?
It went away again, Jerry.
Unreal. He must have just switched it on for 10 minutes or so.
It must have been like last year's European competition. It was just a wee blip that we got Wi-Fi for just a wee brief intervening period. Then it reverted back to type again, eh?
Aye.
But it turns out that, I'm not saying that Celtic shouldn't be forcing whoever's fault it is to get it improved, but maybe there's a thing in the paper that it's a black spot or something like that, and it's somebody doing what the council should be doing more about it and stuff.
Is that why their Celtic TV, their signal's horrendous? You ever watched a game on Celtic TV? I thought it yesterday. Thought it was the picture quality and that was shit. Maybe when it's where I was. I thought it was shite. It's
probably down to it's probably European tax laws, and like it's all fucking Rodgers' fault anyway, isn't it? It's it's nothing to do with them. It's nothing to do with the powers that be.
Well, how come we Stratton's iPad works brilliant?
I don't know. Maybe he's.
Does it?
Does it? As I said, when you got that message, I thought, John's there. When we got John's there in the snobby seats where they're guaranteed their Wi-Fi.
That's
and
what
stuff
I thought
like
it was.
No. I wouldn't take a seat out there. A seat out there doesn't enter. You know, there's absolutely zero atmosphere in it.
No, John, I sat in it for years, too.
If I get Rod's autograph.
If I was too close to the board, I would have lost my season ticket, eh?
Oh, there's Henke saying that they've put up new masts outside Paradise recently. Maybe, John, it will see your time, maybe it will get better. Do you know what I mean? Over the next few months or that, you'll find that you'll maybe get better Wi-Fi reception. But it's brutal. It's even like it's even I'm at the game of that and look, take a photo even to send to Jack or that. You can't even do it.
That's absolutely rebuttal. That's I made a point of having a good look round about me yesterday. For even in terms of looking almost like just as a, obviously it's my game, almost for like a structural inspection point about it, and you look, man, it's tired, eh? It's I noticed the steel work back down the stairs corroding as well. Say again, Jerry.
So don't be saying that, John. I sit in that top tier, man. I don't like heights as it is.
It's in serious need. I mean, when Fergus comes back and sits in there, he must think to himself, for fuck's sake, this place has really had a lick of paint since I built it. It's sticking to the fact. I thought the fact about marked improvement. I'll say what I said. I said what I said last week against the angry people. We don't win that game if Rodgers is still here, and I ain't pointing the fingers for. I'm not buying into some of the stuff that it just blows my mind. That Rodgers was the biggest part of the problem. Rodgers had his own. There's a toxicity there that needed to be addressed. He's away, good. Football was turgid. No arguing with any of that, but Brendan Rodgers is a long way away from being the biggest part of your problem, eh? So it was nice. I surprised myself. I was struggling to get enthusiastic because I can see the bigger picture. I can see the bigger picture problems. Even when folks talking about new managers, etc., I'm thinking, I'm struggling even to get into that debate. Apart from the lunatics that are talking about getting it to fucking Martin O'Neill full time, eh? He's
that's never going to happen. These 2 seconds you know, John. Even OG, nice to see you in, mate. Not seen you for ages. Hope you're doing well, bro. Esta Pona boy, thanks very much for coming in again. Not seen you for a wee while either, mate. Nice to see you in. Ken, just a couple of names here that I've not seen spotted for a while. Give me a wee minute shout out. Right, sorry, John, for interrupting you there.
You're just thinking. My laddie said to us as well about. I'm struggling even to get interested in who the new manager. I'm waiting on the cheap option, eh? I love the positivity on the banter forum. I started to think it was just me. I actually stopped fucking contributing because I thought maybe these guys are maybe they're just happy people and I maybe just know. But this fucking keep the faith. The board don't tell it. You're like, fuck off. You tell me why I should keep the faith with the Celtic board. I've got through it almost as so. I'm surprised with all that. I still really enjoyed my day. I managed and that's down to the folk I met on the way in. And
did you buy a pie when you were in there, John?
Not another fucking penny. I didn't. Some of the middle class around about me had a
Bovril.
Aye, pies, bovrils, and poppies, eh? But that's another story. It's and fair enough. If you want to wear one, I'd wear one. I'm happy days, eh? Just don't tell me I need to wear one.
Aye, that's my take on it, John. Read my rants on the forum last night, and that I take it.
No, I seen it. I mean, personally, I sat down. Everybody's got their own line, haven't they? It's I wouldn't boo. I would prefer if you want to go and boo. Who am I to tell you no to? I would either stay down in the concourse, come in late, or I just sat in my seat. I sat down when everybody else was standing up. But we all back to the fact and says you're looking at my laddie said to me we were looking at Bodo Clint. So I said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what manager you get there. The same.
It's the same people running the show.
Absolutely. And
that's what me and Terence were on about that last night, John. Get Nutson in, get the boy for Bruges in, but we're still going to Michael Nicholson doing our contract negotiations and transfer negotiations. Do you know what I mean?
I've got it off my chest in 2 minutes, and then you can shoot me in the head. It doesn't matter who it doesn't matter whether it's fucking Nancy or some of the Irish options that are getting rolled out just because they're Irish, and it sounds as if Dermot's got his wee book out. You're thinking, what? Are you really? You'll be keen? Fuck.
No.
Doesn't matter who your manager is. My laddie had said to us about go and get Bodo Glant's manager. I said, no. See if you want Tony Bloom at Hearts' strategy. Buying McInnes doesn't give you that, eh? Fucking buying McInnes doesn't. But what you're needing Bodo Glant's CEO, their directors, their structure, their vision, their strategy. That's what you needed. See if you were dealing with somebody here that says, if I can stand in there yesterday and I was dealing with a board and said, you know what, we made a howling cunt in this, eh? And we're actually accountable to the PLC, and we've actually cost you 200 million over the last 6 or 7 years. See if you were dealing with that. If you were dealing with that, you'd say, right, okay, right, you made an arse, right, where do we go for here? But you're dealing with a man, you're dealing with a board that's met you in Gracies and published a statement that's effectively said, and then the Tashiod one puts another statement effectively says, nothing to do with us. It's all Rodgers' fault. Big boy done it, ran away. Nothing to see here, nothing wrong with our recruitment. Player trading model, every penny's reinvested back in the club. Fuck off. So even if not only does it no matter if you who you put in the dugout, it doesn't even matter if you put another 3 stooges in the board. That doesn't matter either. As long as you've got a man pulling the strings and calling the shots and following up Martin O'Neill, then give you 10 minutes to make your mind up if you want to come back. It's a shit show. But I enjoyed the game. I'll leave you with that.
So, see your second team dropped a couple of points yesterday.
Aye, we did. And we made a bit of. Listen, I'm with you in this one as well. I don't get. I've seen Celtic people saying that they're looking for Celtic, wanting Celtic to lose to make. I don't get somebody ever wanting Celtic to lose. Eh? I tell you, I was thinking about it. I was sitting there last night and I thought, it's not losing the league that bothers me. It's not hard. I can deal with Hearts winning the league. I can deal with Celtic getting knocked out of the Champions. What I can't deal with is not being the best version of ourselves like we could be. And the bollocks that we're hearing back for the Celtic board and the mustachioed one, eh? As I say to you, nothing wrong here. Everything's fine. We're sorted. Recruitment, terms of that, player trade model, hunky dandy. No accountability. No accountability. What worries me is it, and I find this really, really difficult. Do they really know? Do they really know? When you said to me before, what's the most important city's been asked, what's the most important thing you know? I know what any team I was ever in a business set like you think, what's the most important thing you know? I said, I know what I don't know. And I know where to go and get somebody that knows what I don't know. And see if these cunts actually think they fucking know. See if they come out and held their hands up and tell me they didn't know that they're going to go and try to fun it. See what I'm saying? We're going to go and talk to Copenhagen. We're going to go and talk to Midtjylland. We're going to go and talk to Bodo Glimt. We're going to say, listen, you're fucking dinosaurs. What are you doing here? Why did you sack your manager after 13 victories because you didn't comply with your kind of data analysis and player growth? What's happening here? Why when you've got a stadium with 12,000 capacity and a turnover that's 28% of ours, why have you just pumped us and schooled us in European competition? That's a question I was asking. And we're fucking miles away from that. Because these bastards have got long well if you've been anywhere near the humility to go and do that. In fact, you've got the opposite. You've got Dermot telling you everything's fine and dandy. Yeah. You've got effectively got a CEO on a board that's getting humiliated because he's just over he just calls the shots over and above them. He uses official Celtic channels to character assassinate the manager in his way. It's fucking out of control. It's amateur at it. I'm telling you, I can't even get excited at laughing at them across the Clyde because we need to start looking a bit closer at home,
John, see if they had to announce Nutson tomorrow, would that give you any confidence that they've that Dermot or that have assured the boy about how we'll be progressing forward with signing players, or if we'll be leaving it up to him to identify the players, or what? Or do you think that a manager like him would be happy just to come as things are?
I don't know. Listen, sees it stands. If he'd need to be no too bright to say, I tell you what, I'm going to give this a roll up here at my wee happy place in at Bodoglint here, where I allegedly got a share of the they can make me recruitment. That almost seems a bit that always seemed a bit problematic to me. Is he almost kind of benefits for selling players? I'm not quite sure how that works.
Me and Terence spoke about that last night, right? There's interviews that he's denied that, right? There's no actual proof of that. But see, when you look at the figures, John, right? Let's be honest, right? It's no great figures. See if it's 10%. The most he's ever had is about €2 million a season. So it's not as if it's. Do you know what I mean? You're talking Bodo Glimt's maybe the most of Celtic, like during one Windies, like maybe €18 million worth of players. So no way he's getting the majority of that. Do you know what I mean? So even if he is getting a cut of that, I mean, even wages, any decent big club would blow that out if they just offer him that in wages, covering that. What do you get? How much do you get? I usually get about €1 million, €1.5 million every season out of transfer profits in that. A team in England or a team in the continent would be like, oh, here, no bother, we'll give you that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't see how that would, if it is true, I don't see how that would be a big issue.
You imagine being our board any Marion incentive to sell your assets and no replacement. It's but in answer to your question, Jerry, it need to be no too bright. I mean, I'm struggling to see how a manager of any stature doesn't come to Celtic Park, looks at Brian Wilson, looks at Michael Nicholson, looks at the character assassination. The football doctor looks at the character assassination that happens to you when you fall out with one of your major shareholders. And probably worse, see, one of the things he did said he would need to see evidence of ambition. Now, if I was him, I would go and read all these statements, and the one that would jump out to me would be, we've qualified for the group stages 19 out of the last 20 years or whatever it was. That's it. Rangers +1, that's the level of ambition here. As I said to you before, what do you do? Player trading model compared to what we've got at Bodo? Player trading model. We just throw darts at the fucking dartboards and two of them's got to land in the bullseye. That's your strategy. We keep money. We just keep money by for a rainy day in case we don't qualify for Europe, and it becomes a self-fulfilling fucking prophecy this year. We can't develop the main stand because as long as we're playing in Scotland, where else are you likely to play in the fucking moon? It's just there's just fucking no vision. There's no there's fucking the only good thing is that there's got to be enough of the Celtic supporters who have had their eyes opened to think the genie can't get back in the bottle here again. Here you can't come out and kid the zone anymore that you're fucking competent, Unless I'm watching a different fucking film,
No, there's plenty of fans out there, John, and as I've said, all it'll take is for Celtic to go and win the League Cup. Probably. There is still a chance. That Europa League's a bit hit and miss for everything. There's still a chance we could get into the playoff round and that, right? Whether we do or we don't, I don't care. But as I've always said, John, when Celtic's winning games and winning trophies, nobody wants to talk about how shite the club's been run and how we've never kicked on. I've been like a broken record on the phone for this for about 15 years. Do you know what I mean about how shite Celtic were run compared to the size we were and the money we were making? We should be so far in every level. And see, even getting down to like the youth side of things, if you see for the years we had without them in, that's what they should have done, was invest in youth to get them through the smaller leagues. We should have used that to invest in our youth as well when they weren't in the league to really challenge us, when we really had a free walk at the league every year. We never done anything. Everything at Celtic's just reactive. They're never in front of the game. Do you know what? There's never any, what you always say is there's no forward planning rather than what the next manager. Me and Terence were talking about it last night. Every time the manager leaves Celtic, the club, it collapses. Do you get what I mean? No other big clubs like that. No other big clubs ran like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's back to this about struggle to get. I'm trying to give an analogy. It's like even in my own game, when you're on the park and you're trying to sort a problem and you're thinking, this is not where my energy should be focused here. This problem's fucking systemic, eh? It's structural within the club. You almost can't get interested in sorting that particular problem on the day because you need to go back and up the flowchart and sort it. As I said to you before, it's like getting the cold and just keep wiping your nose without thinking, why do we keep getting the fucking cold, eh? It's so I don't know why I'm meant to be excited when I see Three Stooges on the board and dinosaurs with no vision, no strategy, an absentee landlord that comes in and fucking just railroads everyone out of Tapi. You replace the manager, replace the board, and what? And what? As I said, I don't see even to reach out to you. It's like one of the apologies when they meet you in Gracie, isn't it? You probably all had them, or maybe you've known somebody comes to apologise. I've said to you before. And then you're halfway through the apology and you realise you're not getting a fucking apology, eh? You're just getting somebody spending an hour and a half to tell you why it was all your fault, why it was really all your fault anyway, and it's still your fault, eh? At that point you're thinking, fuck off, you never came to apologise, eh? It's not your fault, big boy done it, you're playing a blind eye, sit down, shut the fuck up and give your money. So, I don't know, I hope as much as anybody that's listening to this here, that Celtic, that Martin O'Neill or whoever comes in after us can make the best of this shit show here and win the league. Nobody wishes that more than me, eh? But I'm struggling for the reason I enjoyed yesterday was all the other stuff that I go to see Celtic for. All the guys I met before, going for a pint. Boys just
the social aspect to it, a bit of cracking up.
Absolutely, even the poppy bit, irrespective of where you're in that debate, why are they having it? Why is the Celtic board even? Why do they not just say, you know what? We're not having a fucking a minute silence, eh? Because it's the same shit every fucking year, eh?
It's so fucking boring. It's boring every single year. Aye,
absolutely. So just what they doing it for? Why have it? It's and fair play to Dundee, by the way, when they were asked by the Onion Bears if you seen their wee fucking tweet. We'll have our own display. Dundee said no, lest we forget, no surrender. You're thinking, I fuck you. There's the real message there, eh? Lest we forget, no surrender. Aye. That's why we're not allowing you today. Fuck off. It's so why is the Celtic Bovril even doing it? Why they know it's divisive. They know that there's historic political affiliations.
John, I mean, let's be honest. See be the kind of the relationship between the board and the supporters carry on with the Green Brigade and stuff like that. But it surprised you that the Celtic board sanctioned this just because here they're all going to boo. We know they're all going to boo. Do you get what I mean?
100%. It's Remembrance Sunday.
Aye. As the board said, well, this will take heat off us. The papers are more a lot about them booing this minute silence.
Irrespective of what you think, sometimes I think no everything the Green Brigade does I agree with either, eh? But it's that reeked, it just reeks of it reeks of Dermot. It reeks of Dermot saying, "Aye, is that right? Aye." He just doubles down. You're dealing with a man here that said it wouldn't matter if 10,000 people tell him he was doing it right, he's doing it his way. That's what you're dealing with. So
I'm hoping the ban. I'm hoping that the ban with the Green Brigade. Now I'm hoping it came for Lil and it's his final fuck you to them. Do you know what I mean? Because he's always there being his bun about them. Do you know what I mean? If the stories, as I said, we're not going to speculate a guy's health if it's right, but if the stories are like ready to step down or retire or whatever at the AGM are true, I'm thinking is this his final FU to the Green Brigade? Do you know what I mean? Because I mean we're playing Hearts, but one of the biggest games of our season so far. And the guys, I mean, whether you're right, and this is what I put on the forum all the time, right? I'm like you, John. Right, majority of stuff I agree with them on that, but the odd thing I'm like, that's a bit too. But I'm a hell of a lot older than them. Some of the actual Green Brigade are probably could be old enough to be their dad. You know what I mean? But maybe that's just their young exuberance, and I'm just a bit too long in the tooth to say it. Whereas 30 years ago, they've been right there backing them up.
Absolutely.
But you can't say that banning them for stuff that's still everything. It's controversial stuff for banning them for, right? Without getting into the details here, there's never anything black and white because of all the heavy-handedness with the police, which I've seen that firsthand when I've been in this section. Do you know what I mean? The way you get kind of treated with the police and the stewards and stuff like that. And I've said last night, there's 3 ticket checks to get into the actual standing section, so I don't know how they needed to check anybody's ticket in there. Do you know what I mean? There's 3 checks to get in there, and the final check's right at the bottom of the stairs. If you've not got a ticket to show stewards, you're not getting up the stairs, basically, so you can't get into it. So it's obviously there's a story to it, but it's just, again, we've got important games coming up, and someone's, and they've banned them, and you can't, whether you agree with everything they do or don't, or you hate them or you love them or that, but you can't say that the atmosphere at Celtic Park is shocking when they're not there.
You played them the week before, and you had 90 minutes of singing. It's just absolutely vitriolic. It's not a fucking word said, eh? It's you've got the famine song. You've got Irish players on the fucking park. No, where's the SFA saying about? And then we get to the next week. They said, right, we're in the Celtic board had nothing to say the week before about that, eh? You try that about any other minority in the country and see how far you get, eh? And it's why wear a poppy, wear a fucking poppy. You don't want to wear one, don't wear one, eh? It's I just find the whole thing fucking bizarre. But I think the Green Brigade ban just reeks. So I don't know. We're not close enough to know the truths or otherwise in terms of what happened with the stewards and the place. Can't comment. Don't know. Wasn't there? But it's it just reeks of the board and Dermot just doubling down, doesn't it?
I suppose it's maybe Dermot's get a thing with, but for me it's down to the law. I think anything they do against the Green Brigade coming for Celtic for me is down to Peter Law. He just always said, I don't know what it is, I don't know. Maybe he was refused, he wasn't allowed to join. Maybe that was what Mark was getting a capo job and it fell through because he was shite at picking players for us.
But there's
no other. I mean, even look at the kind of power that the Onion Bears have got out of Ibrox. Do you know what I mean? You've got Stevie G sitting 40s with that McGill, right? Stuff like that. You know what? There's nothing. Celtic, the board have got see unless you're up in the fancy seats in that. Well, Big Jerry's away. But see, unless you're up in the fancy seats, John, the Celtic board's really getting no interest in you. As long as you're paying your ticket, that's all they care. That's it.
I agree. It's just. I mean, I don't think in my lifetime I've felt a bigger disconnect between he was Celtic. To the point, it's probably the first time. It's probably the first time in my first season. I had a season ticket when Celtic had 7,000 season ticket holders.
Well, I get my first one when we moved back to Hampden. That's where I get my first season ticket, because, as you know, John, before that you could just get a ticket. It was no hassle to get tickets and that, do you know what I mean? But again, getting the season ticket was like showing that you yourself were investing into the club and stuff, do you know what I mean? 1994, I started doing the Celtic pools and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And even now, I still do that. Hardly any members, because when my dad died, when my leg jiggered when my dad died, we couldn't get out about collecting money. So it was just like the usual family and friends that were in it and that. But it's still gone for all. Do you know what I mean?
You know, I would love to go. You get back there, just the boys saying there, we're just peasants, we're just customers, all of that. You know, they just even particularly under Law's a man that Chris kind of right here. You've heard me saying this on here before. I actually think they've lost. I think even in terms of even at an SFA level, which is horrendous to say, I think they've lost a lot of credibility in terms of where they find themselves this year, even in terms of Celtic being a well managed club. But it's the thing that's always just annoyed me more than anything else. I would love to be sitting across a table for the Celtic board, including Dermot Desmond, and say, "See all your efforts to be the establishment club here." And to kiss the establishment's arse, it'll fail, because there many times you heard me saying it, because see, when the push comes to sub in the final analysis, you'll always be a Paddy and a Tig, and that's a fucking bottom line here. And that's a fucking bottom line here. Your efforts will just fail. It's so why
I know, I get what you say, John. I've said this before. Celtic, the new, are the club David Murray dreamed Rangers to be. And you put the shoe, or the wheel. You put the wheel on the other leg, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
You're
put
right.
the shoe in other fit, but no way David Murray would have been. Oh, errors, do you know? Aye.
You put the wheel on the other leg.
Aye.
And, if you put a wheel on the other leg, they're no banning onion bears, eh? If they're chasing the league and they're needing to make points up.
And for just Todd, don't see for anybody listening in, by the way, I can joke about folk that get dodgy legs, right? Just before that's a shocking, that's sick and all that. I can joke all day about folk with bad legs, so that's all that meant.
So say if the shoe was another back, if the wheel was another leg, as you say, the shoe's another fit, they don't ban the onion bears, eh?
No, oh no.
They just bring more fucking paras into Absale for the Brimlawn Road stand.
Another cannon on the pitch and stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, mind onion bears are like Storm the Player of the Year dancing that. If that was Celtic fans, that would still be getting brought up. There'd still be CCTV pictures getting examined and stuff and things like that.
See if ever you went to see a comment or a statement made by an organisation that made you just realise what the fucking square-headed Neanderthals you're dealing with. Is that lest we forget that they'll not let us celebrate our fallen. They'll not let us celebrate our fallen heroes, lest we forget no surrender. Fuck off. Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody that watches it, and you know that. It's not just Scottish, but it's everywhere. You know, it's. I just wish some of the Celtic board would have said, "Why are we having this? All we're going to go is draw attention to ourselves. Going to split the support. Some will be sitting down. Some will have their back to. Some will be booing. Some will be standing. Why are we having it?"
But that's what I'm saying, John. Every man in their dug in the street knew what was going to happen yesterday. We know every year, and see next year the same thing will happen next year in the same day. And it's just why does the club even? Where's the PR team saying here? That's just bringing bad publicity, because right, you show that out in other countries and that, right? In other countries that maybe know the ins and outs of why the Celtic support feel the way they do, think that's a bit shite booing soldiers. Right, that's what do you know what I mean? You go to France or Germany, oh, maybe not, I don't know, right, no saying about that, going that way. Right, but you know, you're disrespect, right, I'm not saying that, that was a bad choice, but they've maybe just seen that, I think they're disrespecting, like, the history of their soldiers and that, without knowing the rights and ins and outs there. Whereas, just year in, year out, Celtic should just say, no, we give, they give, what is it, 10 grand a year or something like that?
20.
Is it 20? Gee, 20 grand a year. We give them that, right? We don't sing and dance about it. That's it. We give them 20 grand a year. We don't need to.
The Hunts of the Clash that copy Scotland and fucking stole it.
Aye. But the bucket collection worked out, they'd put in about 30 pence a head or something like that, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's like things like that, Celtic. Again, it's just this. It's a public show, John. It's even at that, John. That's cringy. It's all a cringe fest, and for likes on, even down to likes on social media. The pictures of the Huns stopping the side of the motorway yesterday and getting off the bus for a minute's silence. That's fucking no right in the head behaviour.
There's an Irish film, The Field. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but there's a line in that always comes to my mind when I see them. There's a thin veneer of respectability over that club. Anybody that's watching that, when you see the cannons on the park and the fucking paras abseiling after the Broomlawn, I mean, come on, you know what it means, and I know what it means, eh? You know what it fucking means, eh? So I don't know why Celtic just don't make a decision just to say, you know what, we're just not going to have it. And there's Ken, like you saying, Mark, what's your opinions on two neckties, Nigel and Sriracha, two necktie? Definitely something in there. I'd like to see him maybe a bit more an end product in terms of getting the ball cut back and released quicker. You don't need to beat a man 3 times, eh? Nigel, I like him. If he'd still cut his fucking ears and cut his hair. But I like see when somebody's gone baldy like that should be. I think some Celtics should have something written into your contract that says you're not allowed a daft haircut and you're wearing fucking black boots.
Aye, I've said that for years.
You see the spam right under it.
You're not allowed to buy a motor or 10 grand until you're 21 and made a first team debut.
Absolutely. In fact, I actually heard it. I was like, I don't know how this came up on my laptop today. It was a Rangers podcast, and there was a boys, Rangers supporters talking about Rangers players coming in with the big fucking headphones on and walking by supporters and no talking to them. I mean,
aye, I saw that. Aye,
the big fuck off! Don't talk to me. I'm better than you. Phones, eh? You're thinking I'm fucking paying your wages. Do you know? And I think they pointed out that seemingly Butland will go up and shake hands and say good morning. What's that all about? That's not this needs to be strong. I've seen it with the Celtic players there, with the wee AirPods in, and so Nigel and I like him. He's a bit of chaos in his cell, and he misses chances, but he scores chances. Sriracha really, really disappointed just to see him pulling up. I thought he's brought a bit of chaos himself. I think against the Huns last week, he appeared in the fucking right wing at one point. He's got a bit of dig. He's got a bit of that South American unpredictable madness about him. Really, I think that's a real blow to see. And I think he was my first choice to head of Kieran Tierney, if the truth be told. I thought I was going to see, when I saw GSP in the right hand side at first, I'm thinking, are we going to play with three at the back here? But he was effectively playing as a right back. Eh?
Aye.
But even so, I've slaughtered the board in terms of blame. Rodgers is well doing my list, albeit you know how I feel about him. But you can't help sitting here yesterday and you're thinking, why was GSP no give a shit? What about Osmond? Why was Osmond no giving a run before? What about Trusty? Was Yabada finds his way to the way to the bench at least? It's hard not to come to the conclusion that he was playing politics too.
Who's the live
Marco.
chat? Aye.
See the one of them's picked. There's two chats running. There must be
Aye,
because
that's
some
I
of the
don't know.
comments are not there that I was going to ask you because you've got Estepona Boy and Opinionated Glasgow in one, and then Greg and Henke were on another.
I don't know how that.
I don't know how that's happened.
I'm reading that myself. I don't know how to.
I don't know how that's what's happened.
You sent me 2 links, is that? That's not done anything, is it?
No, that wouldn't have done anything, John.
Well, I'm seeing 2 different screens as well.
Who's that? What do you mean 2 different screens?
I'm seeing a
See,
screen.
you're on YouTube.
No, I've seen 2 screens. There's 2 screens up, Mark.
Is your 3 circles vertical on one side, Jerry, and 3 horizontal?
Aye.
And that's what I'm seeing.
Aye. So, Greg and...
it's this... Aye, right. I don't... Right. This is a mad... Right, sorry. This is a mad thing they've added. See, when I'm setting up the stream, and it asked me something about a setup, and I've just put it to what I thought was a normal one.
Yeah, no,
they've done something that's pure confusing me. Is that the 2 of them together now?
It might be because I can see... Hang on, let me see the chat. Because there's wee man, Shan's on one, Mrs. Ed's new on this one, Estepona Boy.
Oh, I'll need to look into that, what that means, that option. Sorry about that if anybody's a bit confused.
Can both of them hear us?
Both the chat's hearing us.
There must be, because somebody said that they've been switching. It shows up watching 2. Keep switching channels.
Mm-hmm.
They can still hear both. Jack saying.
Right. I'll need to look into that then. The StreamYard's changed something. OG, you know, the OG saying so.
He came up with some good points in one of them.
Aye. And the one that came up with other one.
Aye.
Right. I'll need to look into that. That's my fault again.
No, it's just
as long as everybody can hear us, that's the main thing. Do you know what I mean?
Because I know there's a couple would put in some decent points. One of them were talking. I think it was Pat McLaughlin had said about the Celtic Trust. Would you make of that, John? Having difficulty casting their votes before this AGM.
What do you mean? Do you trust them, Jerry?
Oh, but no surprise at all.
Would you trust them as far as you could? Would you trust the Celtic board as far as you could throw them? That was bizarre. The votes couldn't be transferred to the trust.
Ridiculous, mate. But I hope they get it sorted before all of this.
One of the good
I wouldn't hold my breath.
On a positive note, it's obviously because for me, it's obviously a strategy that's got them nervous.
Yep.
If they've went to the bother of concocting some excuse for how they can't do it, for me, long term, that's where you need to get to. You can get a new manager in, as we'll say. For all the structural reasons, I'm struggling to get excited about who that is, because he's still going to be working within the same constraints. But you get 3 new board members, about another 3 Dermot Desmond's lackeys. The question that needs answered for me is why does a man with 34% of the shares have de facto control? And I don't see any way that needs to be addressed somehow through the PLC, where somebody needs to somehow mobilise the other major shareholders. The trust are a long way away from having enough votes to have any impact. But for me, surely in there's got to be major shareholders that are starting to think. Even looking at Dermot's statement the last time, never mind the extent to which he's holding back the club, and the board are incompetent collectively, individually, out their depth. There's got. I can't be the only one. There's got to be people sitting there saying, "We need to go and talk to Copenhagen. We need to go and talk to Bodo Glint. we need to go and talk to Brighton. What he's doing. What he's doing. How come we've lost it, as I said, to a club that's got a 12,000 seater capacity stadium, a turnover it's 20% of yours, right?
Exactly.
That's
I was about to say it's embarrassing, John. That a
sure
team
it
like
is.
Celtic have got to get down to somebody like Bodo or the rest of them, Copenhagen, say, look, what's your business model? What's your plan? How you becoming so effective when we've got all this money sitting in the bank and you would bank them to sign MD?
It's either that, Jerry, or you need to bring a CEO in that has that. You need to go and take one of their CEOs.
What about the talk of the ex-Leicester CEO, John?
I mean, fair enough. But again, it's a Dermot, pals with Dermot's wife, isn't it? Anybody that's going on that board, as things stands at about, anybody that goes on that board is a Dermot Desmond lackey. Unless he comes out, if he'd have come out and said to me, this board are not cutting it, we shouldn't be where we are, we should have qualified for Europe. But he's backed him up to his nose was bleeding with his personal statements. It's all Rodgers' fault. Big boy done it, ran away. Nothing wrong with your recruitment strategy, nothing wrong with your player trading model. See when you're there, I'm a great believer in it doesn't matter what happens to you in life in terms of how big the shit show is, in terms of forgiveness or moving forward or whatever. I'm a great believer. See if somebody holds their hands up and says, I've never been on cunt of that, I'm sorry. How do we move forward? I'm a great believer that anything can be sorted. But see when somebody sits down in front of you and tells you they've done nothing wrong, there's no issues on their part in terms of recruitment, player trading model, getting deals over the line, strategy, vision, etc. See that's time just to walk out the room and think, you know what, there's nobody fucking go with us. And I said to you at the time, you said to me, but would you want to get into Grace? The only reason I went to Grace's was say, I'm not here to hear your vision, your strategy. I'm just here to tell you, fuck off. You just need to fucking go. It's if you're Celtic supporters, you need to ask yourself the question: do you know what you don't know? And if you've got Celtic,
don't start with this. Don't know if you know, but don't know no shit, man. Against you.
If you've got Celtic's best interests at heart and you want us to reach our potential and be the best version of yourself we can be, you need to get to fucking put somebody in the place that can do what you can.
Right, so right, all joking aside, right, John, talking about like even the woman for Leicester, right? You're one of the biggest board fucking against them that we get on, do you know what I mean? But right, so suppose see come to AGM or by this time 6 months, 5 months in January, whatever, right? Would you take if Dermot Desmond brought in that woman Whelan and the rumours about Lowell leaving and Willie Hockey coming in and maybe replaced some of the non-executive directors, and it looked as if there was a bit of a restart. Would that make you feel a bit more positive, a bit more comfortable? If we got a manager in, right? And see this thing with Tisdale, right? I keep on about director of football. Me and Bobby have been on about this, right? I actually think Peter Tisdale is your director of football. No, Paul Tisdale is your director of football. Just with the different, without actually calling him that, because maybe that would be it would be on him then. But it's obvious from what we're reading that's the job that he's doing behind the scenes. But if that all happened, John, what we're talking about with hockey, that woman wheeling and stuff, would you feel more positive about the club going forward and think it was in safer hands?
I think you've got to take the low hanging fruit first. You need to, sometimes I can be guilty of a wee bit of paralysis by analysis in terms of if I can't sort something 100%, I just don't sort anything. Whereas, what is it they say? The perfectionism is the enemy of progress. So you can't necessarily just sort of the biggest problem to me is Dermot Desmond, but that is a hard problem to solve. He's a shareholder, and that's a PLC issue. Other getting it. So what can you sort? You can put the best manager you can in that dugout, and you can hold your hands up and say your CEO's out his depth. You need to get somebody in that has a vision for the club and can develop a strategy to realise that vision. Your other guy's less important to me in terms of your financial guy. He just you sit there and count fucking beans, and you get a Low. I think we're all agreed he needs to go down the road as well, So. The biggest problem is the hardest problem. So because you can't sort that, I don't think means you need to sort. You don't sort anything. As I said, perfectionism, enemy of progress. Let's sort what we can sort. Put the best manager we can in that dugout. Put a board in there that's maybe capable of even asking the questions I'm asking. What's the vision? What's the strategy? Why can Bodo plan to do it with a 12,000 capacity stadium and 20% turnover? Why? So put a board in there and might.
Could Mark Naniel not be a non-executive director, John?
It could be. Aye. Why not?
I mean, people have said, put him as a director of football. Right? I've said he's a bit of a dinosaur, that kind of way. But just having a footballing voice on the board in that boardroom, could Mark Naniel not do that job? I think, let's face it, they're going a bit off about this fan representation and stuff like that. That's never going to happen either, because you know who's got to pop their head up. Oh, look at me, I do podcasts. Do you know what I mean? That kind of level. But get somebody like Martin O'Neill in there, somebody that's got a wealthy experience in football, contacts all over the world, well respected all over the world. Why not have him there, like backing up like the football side of the club, fighting against the money men rather than just the money men making the decisions?
I mean,
do you need do you need to have certain qualifications of that? That's what I mean, John. Do you need to be like an accountant? Do you need to be someone to like be on a board with that kind of job, a non-executive director?
No, it's I just I mean, I just, as I said, the only positive I can take the news is that their incompetence is. You've got two major issues. You've got an incompetent board, and you've got a despot dictator as a major shareholder that's causing calling the shots. Both of the issues need addressed. They need addressed. So back to what I was saying. I would make me feel more positive. Put the right man in the dugout. See, fucking. If the football doctor's a man, this is making me nervous as well. What? Come on and tell me, what's your job? What do you do? How do we fucking sign players here?
Well, if he is the man, John, it's up to him that's setting the vision. This is a
guy that's saying. This is a guy that's we've been chasing fucking Balakawasha for 2 years. So, and apparently Wilfred Nancy, his number 2, who I think if you get Nancy, you'll be getting him too, I would have thought.
He's got some connection to Tisdale's boy at Exeter or something like that, wasn't it?
He's a personal friend of Tisdale.
Oh, God.
I mean, Jerry, you know yourself, Daft Henke on the Discord, you said him for day one, that Nancy.
I know. See, if it is him, man, I'm going to be taking tips off him for a coupon. He's called a few things right, and that's what I'm frightened about. I think
it's worrying for me that.
Aye,
for me, 100%. that's a risk for me. I definitely think that's a big risk for Celtic to take.
He's not exactly set the header on fire in America either.
I mean, the Columbus Crew. It sounds like an old hip hop band when I was younger.
No, it's no. He's not for me. And as we went over, as we said in our group chat, it doesn't matter, I think, who we get in until we sort out how we're going to be signing the players. The opinionated Glasgow's hit the nail on the head with his comment, saying about Bodo and the likes are good at it because they've got the scouting department sorted, proper analytics, and no coincidence about Hearts doing well, so they've hired the Jonestown Analytics.
Aye.
I think it's all this data-driven stuff's the way forward, and I dare say Celtic are using it as well, but I don't know to what extent. But I think we need a total reset. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think until we do, then we're going to be limping along and doing the same shite as we've been doing.
They're Bobby there as well. No Celtic fan wants slow, patient build-up football. That's Nancy's style.
That's not going to work here.
It's just that I don't think I'm no keen. I mean, obviously, I'm giving him a chance. It's a bit of an Ange punt, isn't it? One of the ones we don't know much about him. If he gets the job, oh, aye, 100%, aye. But that's Nancy for me. It's a bit of a punt.
Right.
Who would you go for yourself, Jerry?
I still think it's going to be between Keane and Knutson. And
Robbie Keane.
Aye, I think so. I think Desmond's. This is going to sound daft. I'd like us to get away from it just because somebody's Irish. You know that's the route we always want to get down. Aye, it's fantastic, but I know that's the only reason we go the likes of Rodgers and Robbie Keane and Roy Keane as players. But I think we need to think outside the box. But is Desmond want to try and get that woman in its best pals with his sister, his wife, and Robbie Keane because he's done well at who's it, the Maccabi? He was at, and then he's at Ferencváros.
Aye.
But
I've said this before to Jerry. See, like the thing with the wheeling woman for Leicester. She did an Irish thing, the nepotism thing. I don't mind that if it works. Do you get what I mean? Like getting like Martin O'Neill. Would Martin O'Neill have came to Celtic if he wasn't a Celtic supporter? Even Rodgers the first time in that. So I don't care. See if that's what it takes. A wee bit of nepotism or a wee bit of Elpis die, or that. That's fine.
Person. And
I don't think Robbie Keane should be considered for anywhere near the Celtic manager's job.
Well, and as John had said to us, see the Knutson one, it doesn't matter who, like, obviously any manager getting interviewed, the first thing they're going to say is, right, how much money am I getting to spend here? It doesn't matter what players you've got, you always want to bring in your own. What the board tell him, I don't know, but then he'll obviously want to say about signing players. How does that happen? Does he get to sign them, or what? Or who does it go through?
They're obviously the one thing that they're very, very good at. They're obviously able to sell a pile of shite to somebody, because
of course, they've done it to Rodgers twice.
100% done it to Rodgers, absolutely, Jerry. See the fact he was already in the building. I mean, Rodgers is no a daft man. And whatever was sold to him when he came back the second time, he fucking bought it. So if Brendan Rodgers can buy it a second time after being shafted the first time, Knutson will buy it, eh?
Yep.
Well, we bought Rodgers' shite twice. And twice he fucked off.
Listen, I can't argue with that, Mark. But see, the second time him coming back, I believe that it was the. I genuinely believe the board had told him, "Look, listen, we're going to do this, we're going to do that."
Aye, I agree with that, Jerry.
And it's no materialised. And I'm glad he's away, but I can understand how he was pissed off.
Absolutely, Jerry.
In the long run, mate, because they were trying to push him out the door before all this shit happened.
Right, but should Rodgers? I've said this as well, right? Rodgers played it wrong. He played that. Rodgers, no matter what happened, Rodgers could have come out that with every Celtic supporter backing him up without like arguing or discussing it or that. Because see after the transfer window fiasco, that was Rodgers' chance to say, right, I'm off. Look, fans, I tell you I'll be here for 3 years, but they've failed me so badly over the last few months. I don't want to be responsible for what's going to happen at Celtic between now and the next few months. I'm really sorry. I'm off. And I mean, imagine the uproar that would have caused.
Of course. 100%.
And he would have walked away a hero. Do you know what I mean? He could have come out and said, instead of always wee political, wee sniggery, shitey comments, and that, he could have come out and said, we didn't get what we want, but I'm here, I'm a Celtic manager. I promise you'd be here for 3 years. I'm going to get the best out of this squad I've got. That's what I'm here today. He's always parting about bringing players on. No, fucking no chance. It's all bullshit. Smoke and mirrors with him. come out and speak like a man, grow a set of balls and just come out straight and say, I'll get every player we've got at this club fighting every inch of the way for Celtic this season. Instead of, after every time it was him, it was going on about, I get failed and my Honda and Ferrari pushing that. It's his job to manage it's his, no matter what comes across. And I keep going back to the Kyrat game. There's no Celtic manager in my mind ever that when they'll beat that Kyrat with that team we've got, we beat the squad that even Rodgers went to play them with our 2 legs.
But the 3 players that we signed after that, if any one of them were playing in the 2 games, we would have beat them. Tanecki, Iheanacho, and even Balakawisha, who's honking. If either of the 3 of them had been playing, I'm quite confident would have scored at least once. I don't know what the fuck the hold up was with signing players and all the rest of it. It was a disgrace. It was the board that's solely the board for not getting the deals done, and then that clown for playing the tactics that he did.
Not just even the tactics. It was. I look at even the difference in the effort and that of the players, Jerry, under Martin O'Neill recently.
Granted,
and again, probably that's maybe even coming down and causing some of the injuries. The full tempo and the full feel of the team, they're up there fighting and showing a bit of metal and a bit of fucking Bawz there the last few games, even against Lemons in that cup game. Do you know what I mean?
I think it always amazed me with Rodgers was when I read, well, you 2 guys are part of the Rodgers book story, It's when I read his book the first time, I thought, what a pile of shit, It's just, I've been in mere management courses that I've had hot dinners. It's just pish,
buzzword, kind of everything. Aye, I mean, it's like, see this. I mean, and I'm not this a dig at you, John, right? But see, like all this, like that's Tony Bloom thing, this Moneyball thing. Liverpool tried that back 15 years ago, and Rodgers was there when they tried it.
When they had the committee.
That.
I heard guys talk about, but part of the point I was going to make there was, I've heard, obviously, I don't think football players could be too bright, because I can see how Rodgers is getting into players' heads. That's obviously his big thing, His wee presentation and his performance management and his man management getting in your head. He's a psychology freak too,
Do you remember the story about him when he went to sign that Egypt Comper? Marvin Comper?
No.
Do you remember that, Mark?
No.
About it was on that Comper had, it was some fucking diet that he adhered to. I can't remember what kind of diet it was now, but it's out there. Obviously worked wonders because he never missed a game for us.
Vegan.
But I don't know. But anyway, Rodgers invited him.
Vegan.
Rodgers invited them to his house for a meeting and all that about whatever signing for Celtic, and he had all that food that this Comper could eat. Like fucking, I don't know, whatever it is, plant-based yogurt, I don't know what the hell it was, all this shite. But and that was one of the reasons Comper wanted to sign, because Rodgers went in so in depth and went out his way to do all this shite. Mere pish by Rodgers, but it's John says, get into players' heads.
Tell you one, he'd never get. See, if I'd never been good enough to play with Celtic, he'd never get in my head. I was blessed. One thing, I can smell shite at 100 yards, and it's maybe it's just the place you were born, how you were brought up, the place you were brought up. I don't know. I've seen guys. I've worked with engineers that were academically way ahead of me, but it was just a bit by shite, It's just the one thing I've been blessed with, and I just look at Rodgers. Just not the hope for the fucking suntan at the Gucci belt to the white teeth. Nothing to the Danny McGrain, all of the above.
The Danny McGrain story, the Clyde Tunnel story, the £36 shampoo.
He's a fucking sinner,
No, but I mean, he's a bit. I mean, even on the English forums and that, I kind of helped run. He's a bit of a joke figure now on there.
Did you see him? Did you see his interview on Sky just before he left as well? It was almost like an interview for a job, a more available interview, It was when he
And see everything we've ever kind of, even when he first came in and I said about, I was going on about the guys on the Liverpool forum used to call it a player getting Brendan and all that kind of stuff. But see, even for back then, his first time coming in, we're repeating ourselves again. It's the exact same stuff. He got that Liverpool job from there to there to there to here to there. Everything went the same way for him.
I've seen there's a
book.
book.
You know what I mean?
I was actually thinking he maybe you could try to get it. Apparently there was a book. There's a book being written. It was written a few years ago called How to Win the. Did you see? I don't watch. I sat in the weekend back for the game yesterday. The boys are all watching the EPL. I couldn't even tell you who's. In fact, we were on Santa Ponza last year. There was a Liverpool fan went down the street singing, steaming, and Eileen said to me, "What's he singing for?" She's no idea. I wouldn't know. Never even no interest. I don't care. My world stops at Carlisle. Don't know. Don't care. It's not remotely fucking interested. I watch. I would rather watch lower league Scottish stuff on a Friday night. Where was I going with that? What did you say? What were we talking about before that?
Talking about Rogers' book. Some book.
Aye, so the book that's been running is How to Win the EPL. And apparently in the other comments made that Rogers has got previous to that any inverted commas club signings that was brought into Liverpool he would declare him out.
Aye, because that's the Americans that bought Liverpool brought out this money ball, and there was a committee that made who they were picking to sign and all this kind of stuff. It was an absolute clusterfuck the way you for any club. We're talking about how we want a clear definition of how Celtic's been run, John. You know what I mean? Liverpool at the time had a committee deciding, and then Rogers. Aye, it was a total shambles.
Who's Wicklow Caesar? Wicklow Caesar said lower league.
That's one of the boys after Discord. He changes his name all the time. We call him Henky John. He's always on here. He's always here. He knows who you're kind of thing.
He can't be from Wicklow if he's using a term flash.
No, that's because he scales. He's called that.
I've got a classic, right? Because I've sat beside the same guy for Peterhead for about 20 years, and I've got fucking no idea what he's saying. But he excelled himself yesterday. Obviously, my laddie wasn't ways, as I said, and I sat down and he says, "Where's your loan the day?" I thought to myself, "What?" I said, "Sorry," I said, I'm going a bit deaf in that left ear. Where's your loan the day? Where's your loan? A loan's a laddie to them, eh? Where's your loan the day? I thought he's asked me, "Where's my laddie today?"
Your loan?
Your loan, eh? Oh, yeah, a loan, aye. So,
I thought you said it was "Where's your lad today?" I didn't. I've never heard that in my life.
Where's your loan the day? It actually took me a few times myself to catch it, and I thought, I know he's asked me where my laddie is, eh? It's a boy. So there's a guy in there. He's got about a 4 hours travel back up to Peterhead there, and you're playing at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Where's your loan the day?
And I was going to say, see earlier on, John, you were talking about like state. I was going to have a wee poke at you for a laugh here and say, how would it have looked yesterday? We were big fans of new extended stadium. Do you know what I mean? That redevelop the South Stone and build this big 80,000 stadium, but you can't fill a stadium in Scotland at 4 o'clock on a Sunday when you've got boys for up. As you're saying, the boys for up north, that's a heavy trek. What about all the Irish people that come here and everything, the people up from England and that? Do you know what I mean? It's the kick. That's one of the other things. The kick-off times need to be looked at for if you're going to help boost even the Scottish game as such. See this argument. See if you get we had this discussion. Good you talk. It's probably a good place for me to end. It's this discussion about where you are. If we can't redevelop the South Stand, the main stand, because while we're playing in Scotland, fucking hell, man. I think the two statements, but these statements that the Celtic board done Dermot's made enough reason to fucking get shot at them all. Some of the shite they've talked about. We can't redevelop the main stand
while we're playing in Scotland.
That's my answer to that, John, is aye, you can, and
Aye, you can.
introduce a ticket exchange scheme. That's
Mark,
how we could follow it.
Mark, folk are talking. I said to you a while ago, these guys are taking a step towards a Ronnie Dyler banner daft tap tier, and they would happy as long as they can take their wages out of this. They would settle for that, eh? That's the level of their fucking ambition. You get a Fergus McCann 2 arrives on the horizon. Now he comes in here and he looks at this and he thinks, see that South Stand? Let's say it's going to 100 million was the estimate a while ago, right? Structural problems. Well, it's nothing that can't be overcome, right? So it's 100 million, maybe let's say 150 million, whatever it would be. It's McCann gave you 10,000 season ticket holders ahead of the Huns, eh? It just mean that in terms of fair play, they could never get near you. You had that differential right away every fucking season, eh? Go and do it again. Go and do it again. Now, what folks say to me, and yesterday was the first time somebody actually agreed with me back. We were sitting in Shelton last night, and ironically, that's where the first fucking takeover happened in Shelton, the Shelton Halls. And I said, he says, could you fill it? I says, aye, you could fill it. See, we a CEO with a vision and a strategy and a recruitment model and a Bodo Glunt Copenhagen model that could make us the best version of ourselves. Fucking go for it. Fucking
not 4 o'clock last Sunday.
100 million. So you've got 70 and 80 in the fucking bank. Wait a minute.
On you go.
Dermot saying we've reinvested every penny back in the club. And that's his obvious fucking first lie. So let's split it. Let's take a 50 million bank loan.
That's what I was going to say. Take a loan. That's what I was going to say. A share issue. That's my.
A share issue. We would all. Every one of us that was in a position would back up. Cash, bank loan, share issue. Fucking fill your boots. Stay the main stand. And give yourself another 5,000-10,000 ahead of the Huns and put them out of contention for the next fucking 30 years, eh? That's what somebody with a vision.
But we're not filling the. But John, we're not filling the stadium as it is. We can't even fill it.
Mark. Your product's fucking pish. That's why. What I said, my caveat on that was, if you bring in a Bodo Glunt CEO and a Bodo Glunt structure and a Bodo Glunt vision and strategy and recruitment and player freedom model, all of that, Celtic's got a fan. You get fucking pumped during the week in a stadium with 12,000 in a town that holds, it's no bigger than fucking Airdrie here, 60,000.
But that's not what I'm talking about, John. I'm talking about. I agree with you. We should do it, but look at the crowd yesterday, right? It's a bad kick-off time. How empty would the bigger Celtic Park have been yesterday? Doesn't it, John? It don't gaze it. Or it depends what the team and how they're playing, right? We were playing Kilmarnock. It was a stick on that Celtic were going to win. We're meant to be trying to back up Martin O'Neill. Fans, right? The thing with the Green Brigade people, I'm not going to their band. Other people, right? So excuses aside, right? That yesterday, without the Green Brigade, no, it was a bit of a morgue. But imagine that stadium, John, all the way around. How empty would it be? It's not just down to everything. The kick-off times, the travelling fans and stuff. If Celtic are going to extend the stadium, one of the main things you need to do is get a ticket exchange scheme in to get as many bums on seats every single game. That's what they need to do. There's no point just extending a stadium and saying, all right, give season ticket money. Thank you, we'll put that in the bank. There's no point in that because the seats are still going to be sitting empty. But if they're going to...
I'm all for a ticket exchange scheme as well, and 100%. You're arguing about yourself with that one. Aberdeen can do it. The angry people can do it, and yet it seems to be beyond the wit of the Celtic board for
unbelievable
reasons.
And people give up your season ticket. There's 10,000 on a waiting list. So there's 10,000 people that would try and get a ticket, that would be on a ticket exchange scheme for any game they can get a ticket for.
That to me, see that game yesterday for I was actually surprised. I mean, I text you in the morning. I said to you, I think the crowds will be low today. I was actually surprised at who for 4 o'clock on a Friday and a Sunday in the pissing rain with how the club are behaving. I thought it was very well attended. I've got absolutely fucking no doubt Celtic manufacturing the right product and realising their potential can fucking develop that main stand and make money every day of the week and twice on a Sunday. No doubt in my mind. Can you do it with the lack of vision and strategy? No, you couldn't. But it's.
Do you think your crowd would have been bigger yesterday, John, with a 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock kick-off? It wasn't live on the telly. It wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't on Sky or anything like that. But for me, the kick-off time yesterday was a killer for a lot of people. And that's one of the things I'm talking about, that we need to make sure we're getting wise at getting people into the stadium first and foremost. And at 4 o'clock on a Sunday, you're never going to get that. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, guys will make your journey and say, I'll be home for 8 o'clock and get my heat done. At 4 o'clock, guys, like, I'm not getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock at night. Sack that. That didn't help yesterday's attendance for me.
The pubs are, I remember the wee pub that we go to, one of the pubs said that during the COVID season, Celtic no playing at home cost him $100,000 a year, and wiped him out. And the wee boy was saying to us yesterday, he said even the 8 games that when we didn't qualify for the Champions League, they get moved to a Sunday. He says just absolutely wipes us out, because guys that would come on a Saturday and go for a pint can't do on a Sunday.
Well, even Welshie, you know what I mean? You know what Welshie's like? He's all other place, but Welshie, that yesterday's like, there's no way I could come up for that without booking a holiday off work today. And that, I mean, don't get us wrong, his ticket get you his fair dues and that, but it's still, that's what I'm saying. You're saying, why does the club not turn around and say, oh, we're not doing this with the Poppy, but why is the club not saying, no, we're not having a 4 o'clock kick-off on a Sunday? Get back to mind, years ago, it was a 6 o'clock kick-off on a Sunday night. Do you know what I mean? That was back in the days when I was young and stupid, John. See the amount of Mondays I missed work, honestly, just because that was just your... Because you go to the football and that's your day out. Do you know what I mean?
It was a really good atmosphere yesterday, even for... I had a test Sunday football, and but it was a genuinely good atmosphere. I don't know if it's because we don't seem to have been at home much or for a while, or maybe it's the last game before the window. It was fucking bizarre. See, you'd be sitting in there hearing somebody singing Martin O'Neill, and you see him run up and down the touchline. You think, I can't believe what I'm watching here, man. I can't be watching this. It actually takes time. This is nuts.
You've been flashbacks to when you'd hear. Sitting flicking your curtains.
Bonkers. And you fair play to him, but man, he's you can see it taking his toll. It's told him, and I mean, fair dues. He comes back. He's and I would go further. I don't know if anybody could have came in. It was quite an emboldened move by Desmond, because I don't know if anybody else could have been brought in there to get us to that cup final and get us out of that wee spot and get us to where we have been. Because I tell you something, if he'd appointed his other appointment, the ship that had fine, if they brought in Lennon, some of Lennon's comments recently, and I'm a big Lennon fan. I've defended Lennon. I've been at debates in Edinburgh University. Does Scotland have a problem with institutionalised anti-Catholicism? Defended Lennon when he was getting bombs and bullets through the post. But some of his comments recently have been fucking horrendous.
He's not really. But I mean, I don't get us wrong. I like Lennon as a pundit. I do. I think he's fair, and I mean, when he talks about like actual tactics and stuff like that, he's actually more intelligent about it than I ever gave him kind of credit for.
Aye, he was defending. He was defending the
No,
board.
I'm not. I'm talking about his my opinion, John, when he's doing a pundit. But some of the stuff that he's come out with the word Celtic, you can tell he's part of that wee clique, isn't it? He's not. Neil Lennon's never got to come out and speak up against Peter Lowell or Dermot Desmond. They've given the Celtic job twice.
I actually thought he gave it to. I thought some of his comments were quite kind of, in terms of a wee bit of respect and a wee bit of compassion and empathy for another manager. I thought some of them put the boot into Rodgers as well, and I just don't like to see that.
But do you know, that's I mean, right, we might not agree with him, John, but can we not just even respect him? Because that's becoming a bit like Hun behaviour, is it? No, you can't just say anything. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think because something's true means you need to say it.
I mean, as a pundit, I do, and he's kind of surprised me how kind of fair he can be, just in his punditry, talking about the game and stuff, and quite open. And as I said, it surprised me with his kind of tactical knowledge and stuff when he first took it on. And I think he should just stick to that.
I loved him as a player as well. I said, you never seen him pass the ball. They be legs how and you never seen him pass the ball any further than 12 yards. But it was a spoiler. I thought he was excellent as a player as well. Served as well as a manager, even if his welcome was overstayed the second time. But don't know, just been a wee bit unimpressed. I've said for years that how Neil Lennon was treated since the day he arrived in Scotland is the Scotland's shame. So
definitely.
Just let me down with some as much as.
But do you think, John, there's maybe a wee kind of even battling the cliques behind the scenes? Do you know what I mean? Like Rodgers, do you know what I mean? You'll get people that maybe the next couple of weeks when Rodgers you get his heat up looking for another job, that they'll be bumming him up and sticking up for him, and it's just maybe that Celtic's PR. Do you know what I mean? Like Lennon, and do you know what I mean? Like Lennon, even Chris Sutton, some of these things he said about maybe a bit. Do you know what I mean? Is it maybe just the PR machine of Celtic closing ranks with the people working in the media? Do you get what I mean by that?
I think 100%. I think the ranks were closed against Rodgers, and I just find that a wee bit concerning. That Lennon and others appear to have bought into that kind of.
We'll ever find out why. We'll ever find out the truth. Do you think?
Listen, the only truth you need to know here is not all the rest is speculation. Why Rodgers left? Did he resign? Was he sacked? All of the above is doesn't matter. He's away. He's two things, two facts you've got here. These are no opinions. These are facts that are there and they need to be resolved. You've got an incompetent board, and you've got a despot, a dictator, a major shareholder that appears to have de facto control disproportionate to his level of shareholders. Both of his statement against Rodgers, irrespective of what you think about him or what I think about him, was despicable. He brought shame on Celtic Football Club, and he actually exposed you to fucking legal action, doing it through the Celtics forum. Because if Rodgers does did decide to go from, he's not going through to further Desmond. He'll not do it anyway, but he's not going for Desmond directly. He's going to go through the club. That's vicarious liability. When you own a company and somebody does something on your behalf, it's a vicarious liability. The responsibility lies with you. The responsibility for that statement lies with Celtic Football Club, and why that was allowed to be released is just utterly fucking baffling to me.
But surely Dermot Desmond's ran that by his lawyers and that. He's not that stupid to sit there And just, you know what I mean? He's not a Dave King. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, but if he signed off, no surrender at the bottom. Dermot Desmond, no surrender.
I don't think he's run it by anybody. Anybody. Never mind anybody with any brains, because saying like the CEO should be saying, "Listen, Dermot, see if you got something to say." I won't say it fucking privately, eh? You're not saying it through a Celtic medium whereby the club becomes liable. If you get something to say, I win batter in, and the whole tone of the statement tells me that he never run it by anybody, either with any clout to stop it or with any brains. It wouldn't have said, Dermot, see if I was you, buddy, I would go and lie on that. Have a wee think about it and maybe don't hit the send button to tomorrow, eh? Wasn't needed. Out of order, unprofessional, unethical, classless. Oh, just probably one of the worst things I've seen any football club, at least never mind Celtic. Anyway, that's me. I'll need to be. Aye. So,
Thanks very much for always John for coming on. Brilliant. Everybody, see when I put it on the Discord on that doing a podcast, Dodgy Bishop coming on. Everybody loves your rants, man. It's quality.
Well, I'm obviously not on that Discord thing.
No.
It's but aye, it's always a good crack, eh? It's great.
We can argue back and forth.
Listen, I've said to you before, I went in there yesterday, pissing rain, 4 o'clock, Sunday, laddie couldn't make it, all of the above. They detest the board with a passion. But I don't know, the word hate isn't in my vocabulary, but they just need removed, eh? They need to go. All the stuff surrounding the club, so much, but you get in there and it's all that social bit and the guys you meet beforehand get in and you know, there's a bit of me sitting there and you know what, you're not fucking taking this off me. I'm too old.
See for day 2 or 3 years you're out of the house, John. See all that shite with the board, get out of your head. Go for a few pints, aye. And come on here and rant about it. Don't be sitting at the game bush. I fucking hate that. Do you know what I mean? That's just destroying what you loved doing for years.
It's absolutely. It's that whole bit. Yeah, you're thinking that. But I've had a season ticket a damn sight longer than I'm going to have one to go with, and it's and I've got so many memories over the years of guys. As I said, I've tweeted before, the guys that ran the bus out here. They watched Celtic going through a lot more misery than I watched them going through. And I watched them win a 9 in a row too. And that's where I learned that it was about all the other bits. The political bit, the social bit, everything that goes with it. You know, when you think, I look at them and I think, you know, Dermot Desmond's got fucking no idea why I was on that train heading into fucking Shelton in Sunday. No idea. He's got absolutely fucking disconnect between me and him. Couldn't be fucking greater, eh? And the rest of the Celtic board, eh?
Exactly. That is 100% that. I mean, you know, Jack listens to this, right? The bus I ran for Fairhill, we used to meet in my house on a Saturday morning, and see if I wasn't working a Saturday shift, there'd be 20 people in my house on a Saturday morning, and a bevy, waiting to walk down to get the bus and get picked up. And that was our day. Do you know what I mean? That was your full day. And don't let arseholes like Dermot Den take that stuff away from you. Do you know what I mean? But when you're actually there on that day and enjoying the game, whether they win, lose or draw, it's not just all fucking down to the board, John. Do you know what I mean?
You need something to reclaim that. I said that disconnect is only going to grow. You need something to. See whoever's in PR, they haven't a fucking clue to tell you. And they weren't brought up in the East End of Glasgow, that's for sure, eh?
No, he's a Heart supporter.
I tell you, it's you know, you need something again just to connect again with the culture of the club. I mean, listen, we're a broad fan base. We're never going to agree and disagree, and we're never going to agree on everything, eh? But I don't think I don't think I've ever been at a point where I thought, you know what, I just don't identify with you, where you guys are, eh? I just don't. You made a comment the other day, even about the kind of middle class support. Undoubtedly, eh? Absolutely, undoubtedly. I don't have a problem with that per se, but you just feel.
See, that's right here. I know you're trying to get away, John. Right, 2 minutes, right? See what we're talking about, like that redeveloping the South Stand.
Mm-hmm.
That right? That's I'd redevelop. Right, I'm not talking even about capacity or whatever, but ideally, and this might be crazy talk, right? See the South Stand. I would redevelop that to make it up to like pub league seats. Do you know what I mean? Really, really fancy seats, facilities, and all that. And charge all the snobs plenty for that.
Absolutely.
Build the big massive Celtic end, right? And see the people, well, I don't want to move seats in. Oh, that's my seat. I've bought that for years. Well, it doesn't matter. You've had it for years. It's still Celtic seat. We'll offer you another seat. If you don't want it, we'll get your season ticket away. Build it and start doing stuff like that. Build the structure of the ground. And see, there. I mean, imagine even if the capacity of that South Stand didn't increase, John, but it was all these middle class snobby corporate. Right, and that's it. That's the corporate section. You need $3,000 to even get a season ticket in there. Fine, I've got no problem with that. Because that's the modern game. If you can afford to pay that and you want to pay that, batter right in.
Happy days. You're right. You know, how would you sum it up? You see him, it's been a fucking mad 6 months, eh? It's
a mad couple of weeks.
A mad month. It's but what's your takeaways? Your takeaways is the board are out of depth. Your major shareholder has a level of control, de facto control that's disproportionate to these level of shareholdings. You need a ticket. What do you call it? Did you call it a transfer ticket?
Ticket exchange, resale your season, one-half season ticket, voucher or whatever you want to call it, aye. All electronically done, John.
No, even scheme. And the South Stand needs really developed, whatever that takes to realise that ambition. There's your four. The board's out of depth, individually and collectively. Your major shareholder is out of control. With de facto control disproportionate to the level of shareholdings. How do we address that? You need a ticket exchange scheme, and the South Stand needs redeveloped. How we go about that? There's your 4 points.
And that big red sea, that big red sea puddle, John, on the Springfield Road.
Aye, and fucking I had to dodge it yesterday as well. PS as well.
Could Jerry not go and do that one day? He's no busy.
That gully, they need a gully.
Exactly, John. I exactly know. I'm hogging up there in my crutches now. Oh, we're coming up to that. Watch that. Yeah, it's massive, isn't it?
Well, the boys that come from Ireland don't cross as much water as that. It's you think, fuck's sake, where would it cost to put a gully in here? Obviously, nobody walks round about there and thinks, it's a public area, and I'm thinking it's outside Celtic's, outside their footprint. But for fuck's sake, it's still just walk through. Go and sort it, man. You can sort it for $1,000. Every time I get back, does my box in. But anyway, so it was a good crack. Thanks for everybody for coming along. It was good to have the wee crack again, and we've got a wee break now, and hopefully we come back and pump the jambos and pull that back to pull it back to. Was there 7 points in it now?
Aye, 7. You're down to 4 by game and horn, innit?
Aye. So
I don't know if you heard anyway, John, but the international break, not get much to talk about, but I found that quiz had the Buzzy's quiz questions thing that I've been saying I've been hunting for, been sorting out in that room. You know what I mean? So we'll sort out a wee quiz. I don't know how we're going to sort it without people putting spoilers in the chat, you know what I mean? But we'll get Daft Greg in that one and have a wee Daft quiz night with certain, do you know what I mean? That'll pass a couple of hours one night.
Good stuff.
Get your Kieran on, I know. Tell Kieran to come on.
I will do. Right, guys, it was great. Good to hear all the comments back, and thanks everybody that's listened in. And good night, lads, and God bless.
Right, thanks, Jai. Good night. God bless. Right, thanks everybody that listened in. Hope you enjoyed it. As usual, it's always a good bit of crack when the Bishop's on. If you know how, leave a comment. It helps with the algorithm. Hit a thumbs up, hit a like button, and getting back to the Christmas food bank collection. The link's in the description box below. If you can afford to get in, please jump in and give something. If you can't, don't worry about it, but get a wee share on your social medias and that, please. Hey, lads, good night and God bless.